Are you ready to witness the end of all cartoon-focused channels?
Why the fuck can't streaming pick up more cartoons if cable won't?
Licensing. Tubi does gobble up what cartoons it can, but there are quite a few that they can't get the licenses for. Classic Looney Tunes, all the old Cartoon Network shows that Zaslav eliminated from Max, because Warner Brothers are faggots.
Streaming has never been profitable. Every streaming service has just been hoping to make a profit, but never does. That's why ads were always going to come back, no matter what.
Because there's no money in streaming. Let me explain how it works.
Cable. You have a time slot where X number of people watch. Advertiser thinks X is a good enough number for Y price for their ads. The higher X is, then the higher Y is. More eyeballs equals more money. Streaming. You pay streaming service Z for your subscription tier. This subscription tier may or may not include ads. Streaming service does not release any information publicly about X number of people watching unless X is good. Advertiser doesn't want to pay too much since they have little information and their ad is likely not to be paid attention to anyway. Most people do not pay Z and instead pirate. Most streaming shows are not very good and are intended to be something you put on while doing the laundry. Nobody cares about your show after a week. Best case scenario, nobody cares after a month.
Streaming killed Hollywood.
Who even thought streaming was a good idea? Heck, bros. They are always at the scene of the crime.
Netflix became mail-order blockbuster. Netflix started offering streaming, but it was other people's movies and shows. Netflix started producing their own shows. Everyone thought, I want to be Netflix. Where is my version of Netflix? Netflix lost a bunch of other people's movies and shows, but still had Stranger Things and whatever by this point, so whatever. Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, and HBO Max all bellaflop because nobody wants to pay for a billion subscription services. COVID hit and movie theaters lost all relevance. Now everyone is losing money and Hollywood is fucked.
How it started was,
Netflix started it to reduce some of the logistical load on their mail-order business. And around the same time, Fox and NBC realized, oh shit, people are uploading our content to YouTube for free. We need to target that demand and establish Hulu as a free, ad-supported service. Eventually, the DVD business lost out to the streaming side of Netflix out of convenience, which is when they tried to spin the DVD business off as Quickster so they could focus exclusively on streaming. That's when Netflix hit its peak, and they started releasing original content, beginning with House of Cards. Having original content on Netflix tipped the value proposition permanently away from DVDs, and the other brands panicked and started making moves to take a piece of that pie. It took years, massive investment, and some false starts, but they managed it, one by one. But now the market's oversaturated, and consumers are about as inconvenienced as they've ever been. And the math doesn't work out for the companies making the content anymore. They can't make money because Netflix only succeeded by basically being a giant, paid hub for DVD rips that had absolutely everything on it. No one maintains their subscriptions anymore, because there's only one thing that takes their attention for 2 or 3 days every few months at best. At Netflix's peak, people would stay subscribed indefinitely because they could always find something to watch, and didn't feel any time pressure to watch everything they wanted as soon as possible, lest it be taken away before they got the chance. That can't happen the way things are now. That's not pro-monopoly. That's just the natural flaw in the business model.
Netflix. However, every single fucking retard working from some big corpo slop thought it would be best if they compete with themselves. What do I mean by that? Literally every movie studios is owned by a big corpo. And that corpo thought the best way to make money is to compete against the TV channels they already own and compete against the movie theater releases that they do. Movies and TV shows make their money back through ticket sales and TV commercial revenue. But streaming makes no money until they started putting in ads. But by then they already dumped theatrical tier budgets on fucking straight-to-streaming projects. They are inept and they blame us for the downfall of their projects.
If they want as wide of a platform as possible so they can bait people into buying merch, why not just upload their shit on YouTube?
This is a model that can't really be produced in a corporate setting. Frederator tried doing traditional studio animation on YouTube, but the ad revenue wasn't there to compensate for the kind of overhead a real company has. Maybe if they had something that went comically viral like that, but how many shows do? Among other things, Glitch Productions is more of a virtual studio than a real one with a proper HQ. The voice actors aren't unionized, and I doubt the crew is. This is not comparable to WBD owning a studio in LA and hiring TAG and SAG members. Cable TV went to shit long before YouTube was even a thing. If anything, all streaming did was give people better alternatives for entertainment.